podcast, Working Man's DIY Bro Down. Don't call it a comeback. We never left. I'm Aaron.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Eddie.
And today, we're talking about Marvel because why the hell not? So, boys, before we get into the superpowers that are, it's been a minute since we've done one of these podcasts.
How long has it been, Aaron?
Ooh, boy, it's been a minute. We did 16 different episodes when the plague began. But, after a while, it was like, all right, let's just write and play shows, and things opened up a little bit. And then we started getting going on this EP. We got all the bass and drums done. Me and Eddie got to figure out April for tracking the guitars. But, it's been a minute, but we've still managed to get together. And Eddie, you fucking practiced and played in a musical, sold-out musical, a couple of shows.
Yeah. They were pretty cool.
So
it was really good.
Upstairs at Reggie's.
Terry Morrow, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, he wrote all that shit. It was real cool.
So
playing the donut June 4th.
Oh, is that the show?
Are you supposed to announce that?
Can you announce that or no?
Announce it.
Oh, you have to edit that out.
No, that's fine. We didn't say who it is, so that's cool.
Do.
Someone might be playing the
or
donut
something.
or something. No big deal. And then other than that, it's been business as usual. The world still sucks in so many ways, but we're not going to go into that. But I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys, and I look forward to when we get together. And we just, we were hanging out, bro down like we do, and Eddie said, "Fuck it, let's throw up some mics."
It was Alex's idea, actually.
Maybe it was Alex's idea.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
All I
You
know,
were like, brother, I've got this great idea.
I think
for
it
a podcast.
I don't remember that, brother.
Didn't it come up because somebody mentioned preview for something? Or no, you said Spider-Man dropped.
Oh yeah, new Spider-Man came out today on digital.
No, but we just got it. We just started talking about.
Well, that's what led to the podcast.
Top 5, and he's like, "Let's do a podcast."
So,
yeah.
We kept talking too much about Marvel.
So then it was like, well, fuck it. Let's throw up
it's
the mics.
marvelous.
Let's
darling.
throw up the mics and let's talk about some Marvel. So
Marvel's marvelous.
I think it would be fun for shits and grins. Obviously, there's way more, but let's just run through our potential individual top 5 Marvel characters. Don't have to just be goodies. I will start. Mr. Zeke, I believe you requested to go last because you're on the fence and are bouncy balling around.
Not first.
No, but last.
Okay. So I'll start this off. I think I'm pretty resolute in my decision making on this. Number 1, Thor. Come on.
The God of Thunder.
Absolutely.
Arguably the strongest Avenger.
He lost a fucking eyeball and it didn't slow him down. He pulled an Odin and he just became more badass. And that rules. You all know this is a trap, right? Yeah? Okay, so we're in agreement. This time we'll kill him properly. Goddamn right. So Thor, numero uno for me. Number 2, this is where things get interesting because my 2 through 5 is completely interchangeable. But number 2 is the superpower that I would be the most ecstatic to have. So Professor X is going to be my number 2. Because, you could end world hunger, poverty, violence, all the things that plague this fucking planet and humanity in general if you had Professor X's powers. So that's my number 2.
But the thing about Professor X is he doesn't want to tamper with free will.
I know he doesn't, but we're talking about me. And I will tamper with free will. I'll say, next time you want to stab somebody...
Utopia?
Yeah.
It reminds me of...
next time you want to stab someone, it's a banana.
Like that, like the one Rick and Morty episode, his, ex-girlfriend, Unity. Remember where she takes over a planet and has them all...
Oh, yeah,
because they were just like a very self-destructive, super racist, messed up planet, and she came and made everybody peaceful.
They were totally docile.
Yeah, but technically she's in all of them, so it would kind of have to be the same with Professor X.
I would absolutely do that. I would rock the shit out of it.
It might be too much for him.
I'd put more focus on the arts and less focus on the fucking guns and the kaboomies. That's what I would do. So that's my number 2, Professor X.
That's awesome, though.
Number 3...
Love Professor X.
Number 3 is going to be Captain Marvel. I think she's a badass, first off. She is. And I loved the storyline in that movie where it's like she got pieces, flashbacks of her human self, and she came to the realization, and then when she shows up in Endgame and just fucking flies through all of those the ships that Thanos brought, when they're like, what are they shooting at? Something's just entered the atmosphere, and it's like, yeah, it's her, and she's gonna fuck shit up. And she was whooping Thanos' ass. He had to pull the Stone of Power just to punch her in the face. Otherwise, dunzo. So yes, Captain Marvel, number 3.
Oh, by the way, Endgame spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, if you haven't seen it by now, shame on you.
You're a bitch.
Exactly.
An old bitch.
You're an old
bitch.
You got dementia, bitch.
You got dementia,
Whoa,
old
I
bitch.
don't know what you guys are talking about.
This is Alex made. This is
No,
Alex's saying.
whoa.
So, number
Wednesday
4,
nights
Whoa.
at the
number
donut.
4, sticking with unbelievably awesome parts of Endgame, Scarlet Witch. She also would have fucking destroyed Thanos if it wasn't for the rain fire. But sir, what about our troops? Just do it. Yeah, she was fucking him up. You took everything from me.
Yes.
I don't even know who you are.
I've seen the movie.
You will. Oh!
Hopefully you will. You'll see
Scarlet
the movie.
Witch.
Hopefully we didn't spoil anything for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Scarlet Witch, number 4. And then number 5, looking so forward to the next movie, Doctor Strange. I mean,
His powers are very awesome because, they're mystical.
They're
Well,
mystical and
I
shit.
think-
And interdimensional.
I think totally looking at this from a
Interdimension.
from a sociological view, he starts off as this superbly talented, arrogant surgeon who doesn't believe in mumbo jumbo like mystics. And then after his fucking crash, now he's beholden to broadening his perspective if he wants to have any semblance of ability and contribution to mankind. And I think the way that they broke him down to build him back up from being a more or less an arrogant gunslinger, shoot from the hip kind of guy, to a what are the consequences, what are the variables, what are the outcomes, a very concerted, thoughtful person. And then he's a badass, he's a mystic. I mean,
And then he goes and does fucking the shit on Spider-Man.
oh yeah,
No spoilers, sorry.
so badass.
Hey, let's talk about Spider-Man anyway. Fuck Alex.
Is that all
No, I'm
of
just
them?
kidding.
What, you wanted more?
No, that was 5.
No, I quoted Doctor Strange. Remember when he lets everyone through?
Oh.
Cap, to your left. And he goes, is that all of them? And the other guy's like, what, you wanted more? God, I love Endgame.
Or was
So,
that 5? Or was that 4?
That was my 5th.
That was
Okay.
his 5th.
Yeah. So that's my 5 Marvels. No shock, they're all heroes. I'm a hero lover. I mean, the bad guys are necessary. You can't have light without dark, so I get that.
But there's also those in between. The
This is true.
vigilantes.
This is true. Maybe Eddie will have some. I don't know.
Ah.
Eddie, you're up. What do you got for us?
What do I got? Like pick on a movie or something? Or
No,
just
No, it doesn't have to be a
5
movie.
Marvel
Characters?
characters that are
I mean,
your
like Aaron's
favorite.
basing it off of movies, but like
I went off movies because the
Um,
movies moved me more. They're
I
visual.
mean, I don't really know. I mean, I like Spider-Man. I like Venom.
Venom's
I like
pretty
their. I kind of had the comics.
Well,
When I
I mean,
was
did you-
little, I found a giant. What was it? Spectacular Spider-Man, or no? Maybe it was Amazing Spider-Man 275, and it had like him and Venom on it, and I found it like in a garbage can. I lived in the apartments, so like you would walk by the garbage can, and sometimes like people would get kicked out, and look, they had Spider-Man comics, so I found it in the garbage, and that was like in the 90s.
Well, did you ever watch the animated series on Fox?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was awesome.
See, I thought that- yeah, I thought that was
the Batman
great.
one and that one
Yeah.
were really cool.
Oh my god.
Batman
Well,
was
and
fucking-
X-Men.
And X-Men, yeah, of course.
yeah.
After Bobby's World every Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, Bobby's World.
Fuck
Nobody
yeah.
knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Bobby's World.
Bobby's
Yay!
World. I watched. Sometimes you can watch on YouTube. They have 4-hour
Wasn't that
blocks.
written
of
by
the,
Howie Mandel or some
yeah,
shit?
yeah.
And you do the voice too.
Yes.
Bobby's World.
Or In Life with Louie. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, Life with Louie was after. Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P.
Louis
Anderson.
Damn.
Louis
Dude,
Anderson,
it was the voices. Like I watched some of them recently because you can watch those Saturday cartoons like in a block, and it's just they're so funny. Like, and he's still relevant. And that was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
91.
30 fucking years ago.
All those shows were way ahead of their time.
Spider-Man and Venom, those are fucking classic choices. Fantastic. Where do you go from there?
Carnage.
Oh, Maximum Carnage, yeah.
I don't know.
How do you feel about Deadpool?
Oh, yeah, I like that one. That
I was
was
like,
cool.
Deadpool's pretty badass.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
regenerative
smart-ass.
powers.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds did an unbelievable job playing.
Did you guys see that
Deadpool.
new Time movie with, what was it called?
Oh, yeah, I watched
The
it.
Adam
The
Project?
Adam Project. Fantastic.
Oh, that movie was so good.
Wait, what?
Fantastic.
Really
The
good.
Ryan Reynolds movie,
New Ryan Reynolds.
Adam Project, just came out 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's fantastic.
On Netflix.
Basically,
Oh, okay.
future Ryan Reynolds steals
It's
time
yeah,
travel's real, steals the plane, goes back into the past. This is all in the preview, so I'm not
Yeah,
spoiling
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Goes into the past, crash lands into his younger self's year. But rather than avoiding him, just straight up embraces it. Like, goes in the house, and his younger self is like, how'd you know how to close the fridge? How'd you know how the dog's name? How'd you know how to get in the garage? And he goes, you're me. And he's like, yeah. So it's like, it's totally badass. Like, watch it, The Adam Project on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Although, aside, Don't Look Up is still the best movie I've seen in years. I've watched it 3 times now.
It's about Marvel,
haven't seen
goddammit.
Yes. Don't Look Up is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so would Deadpool be in your 3, in your 5 or no? If not, you can cut him out. He'll regenerate.
Trying to think.
You can pick whoever you want, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, Wolverine.
Oh.
Yeah, those 90s cartoons. Like, before those the ones in the 90s came out, because I used to, wake up and record them, or I figured out how to program the VCR, so I didn't have to wake up.
But the voice
really
actors,
smart.
yeah, on that X-Men show, were so
Yeah.
into it. Like, the dude for Wolverine was perfect.
He was just always
And the
mad.
dude for
was
Cyclops was like, hey, like, get control of yourselves, guys. Like, just like a perfect, like, leader voice, And Storm was like, I summon the elements, That's good shit.
Jubilee.
They went all
Jubilee
in.
was in there.
Yeah, Jubilee, like, oh my god, I'm a Valley Girl from the 90s.
The cartoon that was on VHS before that, too, was really cool and, like, more
I
90s.
I still have
more,
the
like,
X-Men.
80s. Maybe.
Oh, the 80s one where it had Dazzler?
Yeah, Dazzler on that.
But Wolverine had an Australian accent.
He was
He's
totally-
like, I'm Wolverine, mate. It's like,
He
what? No,
was-
you're not. You're not
I was
Australian,
going to say
dude.
he was totally Australian back then. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't even realize
Just for that series, I guess. But, like, I mean, I feel like...
His costume
I feel like
change
in
was
the
interesting 'cause
comics,
he used to be
he was always from Canada.
He was always brown and orange in the original, and then he went yellow, black, and blue, like we're used to
Yeah,
seeing him.
no, right.
Yeah, he was... Yeah, he's
Who,
changed colors.
I don't remember what the storyline was with him and Beast. Were they brothers, friends? What was
No.
I don't know.
No, I mean, like, at least not in the
Or
comics.
were they
like,
just like
Beast,
adversaries?
so like in the comics, Beast was one of the original X-Men. It was Beast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, and Professor X, pretty much. Oh, and Angel, I think.
Oh,
Who becomes
Archangel.
like
Becomes
Archangel
Archangel,
through
yeah.
through Apocalypse, which is
Oh,
badass.
Yeah.
I just remember
Yeah, Archangel was
Morph
awesome.
got left behind. They thought he was
Morph.
dead, and he was like helping them, but he was bad.
Morph, I don't even know. Was that a real
See,
character?
I was considering. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Morph
was
was real.
considering Morph as one of my favorites because he can literally.
Turn into anyone.
And not only that, but like, apparently utilize their powers because
I didn't know that.
there's an episode at least of like the animated series which was pretty loyal to like the comics, where he's fighting Master Mold, the pretty much like the head of the Sentinels once they became like self-aware, like the robots. And then started like pumping them out himself. Like, there's an episode where Morph captures, I think, Professor X and some others or some stuff like that, and because wants his brain or whatever. And Morph comes along and turns into like all these different characters.
And uses their powers.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like Omega Red and shit like that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I've never.
I never liked Juggernaut, I'm not gonna lie. He was so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm big and stupid
Charles.
and strong.
Charles.
Yeah, I never liked Juggernaut. I loved when
He's like practically indestructible.
Yeah,
though.
but
It's
I loved
pretty
when
badass.
Wolverine would get that fucking helmet off him and then Charles would go in the head and like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Loved it. We still don't have your 5. If Spider-Man and Venom are 1, 2,
And Wolverine.
and Wolverine,
Wolverine,
so you got 3. So what's 4, 5?
4, 5. Iron Man.
Oh hell yeah!
No.
That
Nice.
first Iron Man, I saw it 3 times in the theater.
it's so good.
It was so good. It
Oh,
was like
And,
the
and
first-
how clutch, like me and my kids always tear up
How
when
what now?
Thanos goes, "I am inevitable," and then it cuts to him and he goes, "And I am Iron Man."
I know.
Oh my god! Like my kids will be like, "It's
Daddy,
sad."
your kids are like, Daddy, why are you crying?
Well, dude, I am. I get all teary eyed, and they'll be like, "It's sad that he died and he left his daughter and wife behind, but he saved the human race." And I'm like, "Yeah, you."
Did he have a kid?
No, I mean,
Yeah, he had
In
the
the movie?
little girl in the movie. She watches the hologram projection of him talking out of the helmet. Yeah, he has a daughter.
no, more than the human race,
Well, he saved everything.
like the universe.
Yeah, he saved everything.
Because Thanos
Yeah.
is like, oh, now that I
Yeah.
know, he's like, now I'm gonna up the ante. I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
But on
in
Earth,
the universe.
Earth specifically, he said, "I'm going to shred this." Like originally, it was, "I'm taking 50% of it."
Yeah.
Once he found out that like you're such a pain in the ass, he said, "I'm taking everyone on Earth." So he saved everyone on Earth. So my kids, very practical thinkers. It's sad, but if you lose one life to save 9 billion,
Yeah.
that's a fucking good trade-off, man.
No, I know he's the ultimate hero.
Yeah, I mean, so what a pick, dude. Fucking Iron Man, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I picked Iron Man.
So number 5, what would that be then?
Let's see. I said Spider-Man already, right?
Yeah.
Magneto.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I got
Well,
you.
we can
Fuck
do
you.
we can dupe up. That can happen.
And Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah. you got to pick one.
No, that's fine.
You
I'm
gotta pick one.
gonna pick different
Hold
ones
up,
now.
you got to pick one. So which one of those would you pick for your 5?
Magneto and Nightcrawler.
Which one would you pick? You can't have
No,
both.
they're both amazing.
I know. He's got to pick one though. 'Cause he only gets 5.
Wait, how many did I say already?
That would be 6.
That's
You're
it.
at 4.
4?
You've said 4. So
Okay.
number 5, is it Magneto or is it Nightcrawler?
Magneto.
Okay, so you're taking Magneto. Now Magneto is such a complex story because he's
I
actually
only know from the movies what they say
He's
about
not
like,
necessarily a bad guy. He's
No.
he's
Yeah.
almost in a way a vigilante too. Well, I mean,
he just refuses to believe that the human race can embrace mutants.
you know, here's the thing.
Like he wants peace, but every time
That's-
that he gives them a shot at it, they
Yeah.
turn around and fuck him over.
Yeah.
Here's why Charles Xavier.
So you want to talk about a jaded mutant.
Here's why Professor X and Magneto are 2 of the greatest characters in the Marvel universe. Because when they were created, they represented Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Because Professor X, because mutants were treated as like outcasts as opposed to humans. It was meant to like resemble the civil rights movement that was going on.
Which makes sense.
And
One went through.
Professor X wanted to live amongst humans in harmony.
The other wanted to use
Integration-
violence.
No, not necessarily. The other wanted to be separate. He was a separatist. And
Yeah,
the
but-
only reason he was violent was because he had incurred violence.
Oh, that's what I'm saying though. One was like, we can avoid violence. We're better than that. The other was like, if they want violence, I'll give it to them.
I just think that's so awesome that was a parable to like kind of like bring
Yeah.
people into that and to
Yeah.
care about that.
I think with Magneto,
That's why
the
X-Men
thing-
are
the thing
awesome,
that I
man.
always liked about Magneto was he was always on that teetering point of like, I want to be good, but I don't believe the world will let me be good.
Well, right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, especially, I mean, like, and that's
And every time
and-
he gave him a shot, they fucked him over.
you can't blame that.
Like, did they kill his wife or his daughter?
Oh, what in the movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
both.
They kill both, right?
Oh yeah.
Because prior to that, he was like, look, I'm minding
Wait,
my own
who killed
business.
who?
And
It was-
if you remember in the movies, Magneto like went to Alaska.
Was
or
that
something.
Age of Apocalypse?
No, it was like X2.
No, no, dude. You're talking about the newer ones.
Yeah, I'm talking about the newer ones.
The newer ones.
He was like,
the newer ones he had. I didn't know
he was
had
like
that.
a fucking
That-
lumberjack.
That was the Apocalypse one.
He was he was like a lumberjack in Alaska, and he was totally
It's
to
the
himself.
Apocalypse one because that's where like he was trying to escape like all the shit that happened after
Is this the Fassbender one? I'm so confused.
No, with the newer X-Men
Really
movies. So like you have First
rusty.
Class, and then what came after that? It was that
Age of Apocalypse. No, I don't know.
Futures Past.
Futures.
Yeah.
And that's when Magneto was trying to create or manipulate the Sentinels for mutants as opposed to,
Yeah.
to hunt humans as opposed to hunting mutants. And then Age of Apocalypse is where he had escaped to.
That's the one where he's in Alaska. As a
no,
lumberjack?
he's in Russia or Poland or something.
Oh
in
yeah, but he's
Siberia.
like a lumberjack.
In the
He's
forest.
going by a different name and whatever.
Right.
And it isn't until he goes home because he knows he's being tracked and hunted or whatever, and he goes home and his wife and kids get killed. That all of a sudden he's like, all right, fuck this. I have nothing to live for. Fuck humans.
No, but yeah, I mean, so that's where the movie was different than the comics because Magneto was never recruited as one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse by Apocalypse, the villain.
Oh, so that's a total swing away.
Yeah,
from
because in the comics and
see, I never read the comics. I'm only movies.
Well, but the animated series, Archangel was one of he was Angel on the X-Men and then was changed to be one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Okay, so inform me, since of the 3 of us, if you haven't gathered, Zeke clearly has the most background with the comics and everything, and the shows and then the movies. Who were the quote-unquote 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse?
Well, it was Archangel, and then I think the others were named Famine.
Oh, so they
Pestilence.
They went to normal names, but they weren't actual characters.
Gotcha. Something like that.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. So Magneto was your number 5, solid fucking pick. Which brings me to my man, Le Freak. What do you got for me, pimpin'?
Well, not that any of those wouldn't probably be in my top 5 the more I think about it.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've got a unique set.
I'm gonna bring about a unique set for the sake of being unique and talking about names we haven't mentioned.
Hit me
yet.
with it.
Alright, so number 1, kind of your anti-Captain Marvel, would be Rogue from X-Men.
Oh,
who
totally very similar.
Well, here's you want to know why?
But she can't touch people, and Marvel can. That's the one difference that I can think of.
No, so the Rogue in the comics and in the animated series, the reason that she can fly and has super strength and all that.
I never knew this. Yeah, what? I just
was
thought it
was because through her original powers. Her original power of being to absorb anyone's power.
So that is technically her power, right?
Or vitality.
So her technical power is absorption.
That is her root power.
Absorption.
But the reason that she can fly and has super strength is because in the comics and in the animated series, she technically drained Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, of all of her powers until they were gone, and she had all of them.
I never knew that.
She used to be a bad guy. So, she used to be a member of the Brotherhood,
so
which was Magneto's faction that was kind of like the bad guys.
Yeah, I remember the Brotherhood.
With Mystique and all that.
So hold on. Does Captain Marvel lose her powers forever?
Yes.
In the comics?
Yes.
Holy shit.
At least in that,
in that.
Well, that's the thing about Marvel.
Stream of it
is a multiverse.
It's a multiverse
because they've
but
created
in that
so many different.
In that stream of it, Captain Marvel essentially becomes Rogue.
Yeah. And
holy shit!
And then once that happens, apparently Rogue was a member of the Brotherhood.
What made her leave the Brotherhood?
Once she takes Captain Marvel's powers, because she also, I think she absorbs her powers till she's dead.
So Captain Marvel dies.
Yeah, and that, even though
does she get her memories?
Even though Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel is revived in later Avengers and stuff like that. But no, yeah. So because Rogue does that, she joins the X-Men to seek out Professor X because she has
the memories and
Danvers' consciousness in her head.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about draining to your dead. You got their fucking consciousness.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, you did this to me, so you better do good. You know?
Wow. See, and actually, now that you mentioned,
isn't that gnarly?
Well, now that you mentioned Rogue, dude, talk about a power that is unbelievable
to absorb anybody's powers. She did that to Magneto many times.
Oh, see, I didn't know.
One of my favorite comics that I own is this it's got a holographic cover to it. This X-Men, it's I forget exactly what happened in the issue or issues prior, and I mean in this like particular timeline or whatever, like how Professor X dies, but it's like it starts out with his funeral and like all the mutants from like, you know, the Avengers,
Good, bad,
X Factor,
whatever.
X Force,
They all
X Men,
show up,
like
yeah.
all of them, which is so badass. I'm like, oh, all the mutants and superheroes are in here, and then Magneto shows up to like crash the party, and Rogue goes up and like sucks his, you know, the power out of him and just like shooting fucking lightning everywhere and shit. It's pretty cool.
All right, well, that is a killer first pick, Rogue. So what's
Yeah.
your number 2?
Number 2, got to go with Gambit.
Oh, Mon Ami.
Mon Ami.
Me.
Throwing
Yes.
them fucking cards.
Yeah.
They were supposed to do a standalone movie.
Technically,
Channing Tatum ones.
Technically-
yeah, Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit in the standalone movie, but it never came out.
I mean, he uses cards because he's very talented with, like, you know, throwing them and shit.
But he can do it with anything, right?
He can grab anything and turn it into like explosive kinetic energy, you know,
so he
like
could
timed.
he could grab my vape and be like, boom, blow that fucker up.
Oh,
then
man,
he's
that
got-
would be the first thing he would do. Is
And then
grab
he's
your
got
vape.
this
No, he wouldn't,
badass like
'cause he likes
extendo
me.
staff, you know.
Oh yeah. No, dude, Gambit was one of the ones, especially when I played X-Men on Sega Genesis growing up. Gambit was the guy I always chose.
I traded
him and Nightcrawler were the two I used.
Oh yeah.
I traded in all my Nintendo games, which I had like 50, or 30 or 50, and my Nintendo just to get that Sega, so I can get that X-Men game.
Dude,
Hey,
Played
for
the
real
shit
though,
out
I
of
mean,
that.
like just Nightcrawler since he was mentioned.
is he on your 5?
Well, I mean, was it, like, did you? Because
I
you
didn't
chose.
take him,
You
no.
opted. I mean, like, not in my
He would
5,
have been in
but
my
like,
10. He
like
would've been in
honorable
my
mention
10.
for sure because not only could he teleport anywhere, but like, I feel like in the comics they alluded to the fact that he can enter other dimensions and shit too.
Yeah, I do
And he can
remember
also
this.
like distort fucking matter. Like I have one where he like melts somebody in a pool of
Yeah,
like,
because
some crazy teleportal
they make
thing
him
that he
originally.
made.
They make him out to be like, I can teleport, but only to places that I can see.
Yeah.
Then that evolves and it becomes places that I can envision, which is where the multiverse.
Well, because like in the
thing
video
came from.
game, like you can hurt people with your teleport because you're
basically going through 'em.
distorting
You're
their
going through 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, okay,
That's
so he's-
fucking nuts.
So he's not in the 5, but Nightcrawler, we're saying Nightcrawler, check mark, badass.
All right, then
Number 2, you're still Rogue.
No,
is
no.
still- Did you said Rogue and Gambit?
Gambit
so
number 2.
3.
So number 3, I'm gonna
Solid 1, too, I might add.
I'm gonna have to go. Oh, I mean, everybody's has been solid.
Yeah. Are you staying in the X-Men world? Because if you haven't picked up on this yet, X-Men that's his bitch. He loves X-Men.
Well, I mean, I love Avengers too, but I mean, like X-Men is
definitely where
Aren't
oh,
you?
well,
Aren't
and
you an
Spider-Man.
Aren't you an honorary X-Man?
you are.
Oh, get
He
outta
sent
here.
in for it. It's
It's
But
coming.
I
We'll
tell you
I
next-
never heard back from Professor X. So.
It's coming. He wants to review your actions for a longer.
he's got to
time
review your
frame.
chakra.
Shocker, bro.
Shocker.
So number 3.
Shocker.
What's number 3 gonna be?
Number 3
Mon ami.
is gonna have to be Vision
Oh,
from the Avengers.
AKA one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, how badass is that? The guy.
I mean, he can
exists.
phase through things. He can shoot lasers.
Now, what-
He has super strength. Like
what Infinity
the
Stone?
highest,
what
like, level of
Infinity Stone
intelligence?
is the one in his forehead called?
the Mind Stone.
It's the Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which makes sense because it basically gives him consciousness, right?
Well,
Does
like
it?
yeah, I mean, like it.
Well, he was nothing before he had the stone.
Oh,
he
that's
was
right,
like
that's
he
right,
was
that's
he was
right.
like an android, and it made him.
It made him like
More
conscious.
human.
Yeah,
He was
it
like a-
consciousness.
Like a husk.
Yeah,
Or just
yeah.
empty.
But you're right. He is a total badass. It really bothered me that.
Oh no, he
scene-
was the computer. Wasn't he?
Oh, you're right. He was the computer. He was the,
Jarvis.
He was Jarvis, the original Jarvis, put into a body and then given life by the stone.
But is that what he was in the comic?
Like that,
I don't know if it was in the
that much.
comic.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
like I don't have as many Avengers comics. I mean, like I have some pretty old ones.
But the thing that annoyed me is, if you remember in the movies and the Avenger movies, when they get attacked, when Scarlet Witch and Vision get attacked, they're like 3 dudes that they got attacked by. I don't know if they were just having a bad day, but Scarlet Witch and Vision should have rolled those chunks.
no, I know that's
They
just,
should have rolled
it's
those
just
chunks.
dramatic, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Like, when I saw them, like, fucking up Vision, I'm like, seriously? Like, this is... I mean, you want to talk about an underdog winning the NCAA tournament, that's one thing. But this chump getting the best of Vision and Scarlet Witch, who can manhandle fucking Thanos, having to fight off these two assholes as if it was like the hardest thing on the planet. I get it, like you said. Cinematically, you needed to have that. But I'm just saying, from a nuts and bolts, black and white, it's preposterous, okay? It's preposterous. And Vision's a great choice, I might add. A great choice. So that's 3.
And then I'd have to go Ant-Man.
Oh yeah,
Because I mean,
what a good pick.
Not only to be able to go microscopic to like a giant, but,
how amazing!
But to enter and manipulate a realm that nothing else can.
Went through the quantum realm,
right?
Quantum realm.
And how amazing! I mean, think about it. He saves War Machine. He saves Rocket, and he saves. I want to say maybe there's one more. Maybe it's just those 2. But he saves those 2, and then if you've ever watched Endgame, who lands the haymaker on the first fucking ship to end that ship's existence? Gigantic fucking Ant-Man. It was a left hook, I might add, not a righty. He's a lefty. He fucking, as soon as they all charge towards each other, he takes about 3 steps, and that fucking stupid machine that kind of looks like a worm is coming through, and he just plants that fucking thing. I mean, Gigantor Ant-Man, like not to take away from miniature Ant-Man, because like you said, he went through the quantum realm and saved.
But I mean, like that's the thing is, if it weren't for that, none of it would have been possible.
No,
so.
I mean, and if you look at Endgame, it wasn't until he showed up that shit kicked off. If he doesn't show up and say like, "Oh, hi, my name's Scott. You met me once. Like, the hell's going on?" and tell them like where he's been and what's gone on, they would have never thought of everything that happened to make Endgame possible. So Ant-Man is a fucking badass. And Paul Rudd, oh my god, what a fucking actor. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But he's still like, I mean, I guarantee you, when people were like, you know what we're going to do for Ant-Man? We're going to take Paul Rudd. And they're going to be like, Paul Rudd, like the guy in all the like Seth Rogen stoner comedies? Yeah, we're going to make him.
He was in 2. He was in 2.
Well, yeah. It's still 2.
Yeah.
There's no
all
been
those
in other
movies,
stuff,
all 2
man.
of them?
But there's no other superheroes that can claim that 2 Seth Rogen stoner comedies. So, I guarantee when that was pitched...
Seth Rogen does The Boys, though, doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He's a producer on The Boys.
Oh, a producer. He's not in it, though.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I guarantee when that was pitched... like
honorable mention, though.
That great show. For Ant-Man, when they were like, let's do Paul Rudd, I guarantee somebody at first went, how can you have a superhero that's Paul Rudd? And then Paul Rudd probably went in and he said, give me that fucking script. And he started reading it. And
Was he like, hey, give me that fucking script?
He probably was. And when he read that thing, I guarantee everyone was like, we will never question your casting again. Paul Rudd is the man.
No, but I mean that's the thing though, is that
he owned Ant-Man.
But I mean like you saw
it.
But you saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, right?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing though.
They have another one coming out, don't they?
Yeah, third one's
No,
coming.
but like because the original Ant-Man was Dr. Pym. And
I did not know that.
Yeah,
so he did.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so
No.
like the guy that Paul Rudd's portraying is like
they explain it in the
I don't
movie.
really think exists in the comics if
So this whole
if I'm correct.
I thought Ant-Man was the Paul Rudd. Like,
I mean, like
there was the inventor, and he gave the suit to this guy.
Don't get me.
They show it in the movie. He was Ant-Man before.
No, right.
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously he created the suit, and his wife used to be the Wasp.
But I didn't think that like the original fantastic actor Michael Douglas, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't think Michael.
No, but I mean,
Douglas,
like the Ant-Man comic and the Wasp that was created back in the '60s.
See, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
So I didn't know
it's
that
old.
like Michael Douglas and his wife.
And that's the thing is Paul
would
Rudd
have
kind of
been
acts like
heroes beforehand.
Is that
Yeah.
Paul
I
Rudd
didn't know
kind of
that.
acts like an idiot and clueless and stuff, just like your complaints about like the dude that plays the Flash. Is that in the comics?
In the
like,
movie, the TV show guy is fantastic. The movie guy's an idiot.
Is that at least the original Ant-Man was a fucking genius, you know?
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
And not
I did
just
not
like,
know
you know,
that.
some like
Some thief.
naive,
So
dumb thief.
so it's almost kind of like.
He's a good thief, bro.
No, he is.
And for comedic relief, he worked.
No,
perfect.
yeah, he's always great.
He had such.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Paul Rudd.
No, Paul Rudd
Are you
has
hating on
such.
Paul Rudd?
Hell no.
No,
America's
Paul
sweetheart.
Rudd.
You better not, because then...
Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He has such.
You might fart.
He has such
Yeah.
a gift of levity.
Fart in your mouth.
Fart.
What the fuck did I just walk into?
Sorry. A fart.
Yeah, apparently.
Fart.
Paul Rudd has such a gift of providing levity even when you know it's a serious moment that like doesn't need levity.
Oh, I mean, same with Ryan Reynolds, like with
Exactly,
Deadpool.
it's
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Deadpool, honorable mention, Deadpool. Deadpool's awesome.
Their gift.
I already mentioned Deadpool. Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Their gift, though, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
you
on.
didn't
He
choose
wasn't
him,
on your
though.
5 though.
You didn't choose him. You didn't choose him, bro.
You said Deadpool.
Not on your 5.
You
We
said
talked
him.
about it, but he wasn't one of your 5.
I thought he was.
No, he wasn't. You did Spider-Man, Venom.
Aaron was like, how about Deadpool? And you're like,
You're like,
Yeah,
I like him,
Deadpool.
but no. You
I
didn't-
still talked about him, so it counts.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You did Spider-Man, Venom, Wolverine, Magneto.
And I brought up the Adam movie.
Oh, that was a great movie. But no, those two actors specifically, Ryan Reynolds and Paul Rudd, they make ridiculously emotional and things that
Imagine if they were both in their own movie, like together.
that would
Deadpool
be
and Ant-Man?
That would be awesome.
That'd
Would
a
it be
cool-
too funny?
That'd be, yeah, I mean,
It would be just like non-stop funny. They'd
know
be like,
what,
God,
though?
we can't stop.
If you take
that'd be-
those
I mean, that's
two,
a gnarly pairing.
if you took those two though, you'd be able to take like the most dire, sincere, terrible human twist sociological view and make it digestible. Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They take something that should break your heart instantly and make you go, fuck this, turn it off, I'm done. And
Instead, you laugh your ass off.
They
yeah.
make you laugh through it, but still realize like how serious it is. And that's the gift that Paul Rudd and Ryan Reynolds have. Like, I can watch them and know like this is fucked up. This should not be acceptable. I don't want to watch the rest of this. But because it's them and the way they deliver it, I will watch it. And by the end, I'm like, fucking A, you guys are unbelievable. And to me, that's what acting is the ability to convey the true essence of what the feeling is and to keep you locked in long enough to go through all the ups and downs. I mean, what a pick. Ant-Man, dude.
Ant-Man.
So that's cuatro para ti. Tienes uno más. What shall be numero cinco? Fucking Alex, what's number 5?
Man.
You already said Ant-Man.
No, I was just talking about
Oh,
man.
okay.
We're superheroes. All of man. No, we're a bunch of fuck-ups. What do you got?
What?
I hate mankind. That's why I said no, we're a bunch
The
of
wrestler?
fuck-ups. No, I like that guy. Mankind was cool. He used a sock.
I don't know nothing about wrestling.
It's like a tie between Silver Surfer and Cable.
But you got to pick one, just like we made him divide up
Silver
Nightcrawler.
Surfer.
I couldn't get
Good
Nightcrawler,
pick.
bro.
Good pick. Okay, now, Silver Surfer, to me, again, as a guy that didn't read comics and played the video games, saw the movies, such an enigma. What I know of him,
Is what, the one Fantastic Four movie?
basically, that movie.
Was that
movie-wise,
Fantastic
yeah,
Four 2?
Well, then I think...
But he was in some.
Wasn't he playable in some Nintendo Avengers
That's what I'm saying.
game?
I played him
He
in
had his
games.
own.
Yeah.
He had his own Nintendo game.
And he had his
Okay.
own game on Nintendo called Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And the thing that they basically gave you was he's an alien
This planet was destroyed.
whose planet
or
was
something.
destroyed. And
By Galactus,
yes.
who's
And
the
he's-
Planet Eater.
He's basically here to, I don't know, protect our kind from Galactus or prepare to fight Galactus. But-
Initially, he's... Like, I mean, initially...
But he
he's a-
doesn't talk at all, so I
initially
never got a
he's
feel for him.
He's a slave to Galactus.
Did he talk in the movie though?
I don't recall him talking.
Silver Surfer
He talked, but I don't feel
Well,
like
in the
he
Final Four one?
I don't feel like he divulged
in the
a lot.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
What the fuck
Fantastic
is
Four.
Final Four?
Final
Did
Four
I
is
say Final
basketball.
Four?
Yeah.
That's bad. Hey,
It was a basketball
Final
game.
Four,
March
Final
Madness.
Fantasy, Fantastic... Yeah.
March Madness,
Fantastic
baby.
Four. Finally.
But I feel like they didn't divulge much on his character, his state of mind, his motivation.
Yeah,
So-
sorry, I was thinking about my bracket because we have to fill it out tomorrow.
Yeah, we
I
do.
figured.
So what is his background, his motivation, his character? What I didn't even know that he was beholden to Galactus.
So his planet destroyed, but like beholden to Galactus.
Why come?
Probably because he's so powerful. And
So is it a fear thing? Is he beholden to him out of fear, or did he make a deal with them? Like
I forget
I
entirely.
can't remember.
But I mean, like at one point, like I mean, obviously he comes to Earth.
did he come to Earth on the behest of Galactus?
I think actually because he wanted to save it, which he does end up doing, and then ends up like fighting Galactus several times, and like in the comics, like all over,
okay.
like defending. He's kind of a defender. He becomes a defender of the universe.
So he's like a single man's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got this like silver surfboard, and like
And what-
that he travels on through space. He can breathe. I mean, like he can
breathe
in
anywhere, right?
Breathe in space.
So what is his major power? Like if somebody said, "Name me his powers," what would they be?
I mean, he can manipulate matter at his will,
As well
essentially.
as the waves.
So like could he pick up the ocean and throw it at someone?
Yes,
Oh man, what a badass! He could move a mountain and drop it on someone's head.
I feel like he could.
And he can rip some mad waves.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
See, I mean, probably when it first
Shred.
came out, it seemed corny, but like
Because of the surfer part.
But the way they just like his powers are just so cool, and like.
I feel like he maybe doesn't get his due, at least not with me personally speaking.
Well, and I feel like
because it's like
I feel like
it's
he
a
can
guy
like
on
blast.
a surfboard. It's a
I
guy
feel
on
like
a
he can like
surfboard.
blast, photons and shit, like beams.
Well, I
at-
feel like the
at
little
people,
bit that
like-
showed up in Fantastic Four was.
I feel like he's powerless without his board for some reason.
Oh, I wonder.
he?
Well, in
I think
Fantastic
so.
Four, I feel like what I recall, and I could be totally wrong, was it was like they were in awe of his powers and abilities, but they were confused because he wasn't like malicious.
They thought that he was like the harbinger of something
Yeah,
bad,
but he wasn't.
but actually he's like coming to warn. No, right? And
yeah,
I,
he was almost like you'd expect
and
a
I feel like
computer to be.
I feel like that kind of.
Like he was almost emotional.
I feel like that kind of links up
in.
in the comics, and I'm pretty sure he was introduced through the Fantastic Four in the comics, like back in the '60s.
That's one.
I think so.
If you know something about Silver Surfer, drop it in the comments. But that's
I mean,
something.
the Fantastic Four are actually
would-
pretty dope, and it sucks
Dude.
they can't get the movies right.
well,
like, you know.
their casting was pretty cheese.
Well, I mean, and the scripts, like,
and the scripts were
cheese.
real bad. You know why?
Cheese.
Okay, I've watched all those. My problem with
Oh, and wait, really quick. You know what's hilarious though is realizing the fact that Chris Evans
Yeah.
we're gonna say the same thing.
has played
can't-
two different characters in the Marvel universe.
But here's my big problem. Okay,
Wait, is he the only one though? I think there might be somebody else.
No,
maybe it's
this.
only him.
This was my problem. Okay, Chris Evans as Captain America was so
Awesome.
serious, and he took that role. And I don't know if it was a timing thing or whatever, but the Chris Evans that did
the Human Torch,
the Human Torch,
Johnny. Yeah.
reminded me too much of the Chris Evans that played in like Not Another Teen Movie.
Nailed it.
So
Yeah, because he's trying to be a punk ass. Because
Yeah.
that's, I mean, honestly, that's who the Human Torch is. But
yeah,
like,
but I don't know if it was timing. Like this came out and then that came out. But I literally was like, this guy's a fucking joke.
wait,
He's
that's
just in a
right.
spoof.
Michael B. Jordan played the Human
I was
Torch
just thinking.
also,
I was just thinking
and
about
then
that. I
he
was
was
like,
in
was
Black
that Michael G.
Panther's
Jordan?
Killmonger.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking about. Right
Damn.
now.
So
Like,
that's
wait
the
a
thing.
minute.
And then like,
Two guys that have played the Human Torch. That's fucking
and
weird.
then like is smoking hot. And then like is smoking hot as Jessica Alba is. I didn't buy her as the Invisible Woman
no,
at all.
She was the
guy that
she was
did-
barely there.
The guy that did Mr. Fantastic, he was all right. And
yeah,
then-
yeah, like Ian Griffith
I don't
or
know his
something.
name, but he was all right.
Hey, you guys! Honorable mention: Guardians of
Of the
Justice?
Galaxy.
Justice?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Guardians of Justice.
I don't know
Oh,
if I know who
this
they
is
are.
new, yeah.
On Netflix, I think. Yeah, I think it's Guardians of Justice.
Oh, the one that you texted me. I was like already watching it. Yeah, the one with the Birdman.
Yeah, we're like, it's like you haven't watched it.
No,
No,
Oh, dude, it's
I'm
crazy.
two
It's like
I'm 2 episodes in because I need to finish. Dude,
it's it's very gritty and it
yeah.
uses anime and video games.
Think of it as like.
like as anim like. to
do you
tell a
remember
story.
those awesome? What were those movies that were like black and white comic book? They were like graphic ones though,
Oh, Sin City.
like Sin City type thing. Think of those
Yeah.
modernized.
It's kind of. I mean,
Modernized
Yeah, maybe it is
that.
like
It's like a
Sin- not-
modernized
don't,
Sin City.
Don't when I watch it, I don't think Sin City. It's just a very fast paced. It uses a lot of images like.
But there's a whole lot
And-
of cutbacks to shit in the past.
and-
That's
yeah.
what made me think of Sin City.
But also it's
But Sin City
you know
doesn't
who all the
comic book
characters
shit.
are. They're basically just they're like Batman is Nighthawk.
yeah, they look
Mr.
exactly
Marvelous
like
is
guys you
Superman.
know. Yeah,
Like
they-
everybody, like
they have
Joker is
different-
Mr. Clown.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
have different names, but when you see them,
Is
you
it
know
Marvel
who they
related?
Be. No,
No, this is
not at
some
all.
show.
Netflix,
okay.
totally independent. It's good though. I
Because
unfortunately
Nighthawk, I feel like, is a character.
No, Hawkman, Hawkeye. There might be a Nighthawk, but
I feel like there is a Nighthawk. I think that's
but
in
he
DC
might be.
though.
This guy's name.
There's a
name,
Nighthawk
This
in
guy's
DC.
name might be like Captain Nighthawk.
No, yeah.
No, it's Nighthawk.
Is it just Nighthawk?
Yeah, it's Nighthawk.
Okay, whatever.
And then he's even got like his Robin and his like Nightwing.
Yeah, they got
like
different
little
names.
kid,
Yeah.
like these little kids that he brought
But,
orphans. I think they are.
The thing is like I clicked that remind me thing for things that I want on Netflix, and literally no joke, I had it set up and I was looking. And I'm like March 1st, March 2nd, March 5th, March 18th, March 25th. Like this month is great for me on Netflix. So like I had to get through all these things, and that show came out, and I watched the first episode. Then you messaged me and said watch this, and I'm like already checked.
Yeah,
it.
I think it came out like a couple days before, so it was like.
But, like,
on Friday when I watched we watched like 4 episodes.
Like I had to get through all of Vikings Valhalla first. Now I'm on.
Dude, I tried watching that fucking show you told me to watch, and it wasn't funny.
Which one, Norseman?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid funny. EW, Wiggy at work, Eric, he got through season 1. And I told him, I said, it walks this line between so stupid it's funny and so stupid it's stupid. And he made it through the first season. He's like, you're right. I like it more than I hate it.
It was like, no, I don't know.
How many episodes did you get through?
Barely the first.
Okay, you gotta get further. You gotta get further in.
It's like
You
I don't
have
know,
to-
it was like it was
It's
too
so
it was too
stupid.
It was like stupid on purpose. It was just
That's
like,
the whole point of it. It's a spoof on Vikings. That's the whole point. The entire point is
know.
to spoof on Vikings. So, like, they go and get a slave. When they're bringing him back, he's like, can I have some water? And they're like, no. And he's like, the sanitary conditions around here are terrible. And they're like, oh, the sanitary conditions are terrible. He's like, yes, the communication on this boat is awful. We've been very close for a long time, and nobody has told me where we're going or why. I demand some water.
He's a slave.
And the Viking like walks over and like punches him in the face, and it's like it's a spoof. Like a slave would never. You're a slave, you know what I mean? And then he gets back to town, and he's like, can I have my cape back? A gentleman needed to borrow it when you guys came and took me from my country. Oh, there he is. Never mind. Can I have my cape back? And the guy's like, this is my cape. And he's like, oh, really? It's your cape with my family crest on it? Let's be real. That's my cape. And the guy like walks over, sticks his hand in his own ass as he shits, and then puts it in the slave's mouth. And he goes, whose cape is it? And he's like, yours. And then it's like, I mean, it's just a total spoof on like Vikings. But if you stick with it and realize that it's dumb as shit and it's a spoof on Vikings, it's funny as hell.
But it was like too boring. Like it didn't.
No, you haven't.
It didn't.
Dude, you did one episode. You gotta get further.
Like young Sheldon makes me laugh more than.
Like you didn't find out when Orm
Young
becomes.
Sheldon.
You didn't find. Oh, Young Sheldon's awesome.
It's a good show.
I love Young Sheldon. But it's funny. But you literally have to go in going, "This is probably the dumbest thing I'm ever gonna watch," and then you'll find it funny.
All right. Well,
So-
I think that concludes our.
But yeah, you're right.
our talks
Anyways,
on-
excellent 5. Excellent 5. I like my 5.
Excellent 5.
Thank you.
Who are my 5 again?
Oh, Christ almighty. Jeebus.
Spider-Man, Venom, Wolverine, Magneto, and I forget what the middle one was.
It's a good pick. It's a good question. I mean,
Maybe it was Deadpool since he talked about it.
no,
but
he didn't pick
there
Deadpool. There was another
No, he
one.
didn't. Yeah, there is another one he picked.
Well, shit, we'll watch it back. You
Yeah,
watch it
we'll
back.
figure it
Tell
out.
us what
Watch it.
Eddie's 4th fucking favorite
Fifth?
Marvel person.
Is it
No,
4th?
Magneto was 5. Tell us what his 4th favorite.
Or was that Wolverine? Because he couldn't come up with the last two.
No, I'm pretty sure Wolverine was 3. We're missing 4, and then 5 was Magneto. Tell us which one we're missing. Anyways, thank you for joining us in our Elvis podcast reunion. I'm Aaron.
I'm Alex.
And Eddie.
We are fucking out of here.